Let's see here. I'm just gonna put you. I'm gonna. And then we're just gonna go like this. And then. Oh, bro. All right. Come on, where's everybody? Yeah. Yo, what is up, AK? Like that. Yo, what is up? How's everything going? We're waiting for Tyler to get here because we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. You have a. So what happened to your computer?
It's restarting. Even then, the connection in my room is god awful. So,
Oh my god.
yeah, fun time.
Robert, what is good? So we got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
Don't bring up Ertz. Don't you do it.
I'm gonna have to. You see the title?
No, I'm not commenting. I'm saying I'm giving it a day or two to get my thoughts over it, and then I'm making a video myself.
Okay, then I'm just gonna explain my thoughts then. Okay.
That's fine. I have no comment. Call me Joe Girardi.
What was that?
Call me Joe Girardi. I have no comment.
No, you're wait. Oh, never mind. Let's talk about Robert Kerrigan. Let's just give her we're not gonna dive right into it. We're gonna save that for Saturday, so we're just gonna give our like regular what is that word? Like general analysis about it. So guys, put in the comments or in the chat below what do you guys think about Robert Kerrigan. For me, it's a good fit, fits in the rotation, and it's good for the young guys, good for the rebuild going forward. Next.
Okay, for me, I'm not so sure if it's a good fit because he's always been part of a 3-4 compared to the 4-3. So I'm not exactly sure where they're going to put him. I'd assume linebacker, but I still think it's a good signing. Worst comes to worst, he'll be a good rotational player, and he'll still have a good impact for the team.
Yeah, Devin, it's going to be on hold probably on Wednesday now. Wednesday, something was going on in my basement. I could not do it. So Wednesday. Tomorrow, I got something. You love the signing, Robert? Yeah, you and I were on the phone about that, talking about it. And I loved your video too. Robert put out 2 videos today.
Ooh.
He put out 2 videos today, guys. He's really cranking. He's really doing his thing. Go sub to him. Sub to Tyler. His link is in the description below. He put out a video today. I loved your thumbnail. I was laughing. A new, what was it?
Dude, it took me a while to make that, man.
Oh, I bet. On the phone, too?
No, finally, I did that on my laptop.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
I could have probably made it on my phone. The problem is it probably would have been easier, but...
Yeah. All right. So, you don't think it was a good fit, but it was still a good signing?
Yeah. It's just because I just don't know where they're going to place him. That's something we could talk about on Saturday.
Yeah. And I got a guest. I'll bring that up. I'll talk to you about that later. We got a guest for Saturday.
All right.
Possibly 2.
Speaking of guests, we're going to put that, we put the invite link in the chat, get some call-ins, since we couldn't do that last Saturday.
Yep, we're going to do that right now. So whoever wants to do a call-in, or
Whoever wants to get a more beautiful view of my nose.
underrated. So
Stop.
whoever
Yeah, look at
wants,
this. Look at this.
even your nose
So, just
looks older than me.
do I look beautiful now?
All right. So, what a day. I mean, did you expect this to come for Robert Kerrigan?
Oh no! What happened?
Yo.
Oh, there we go.
What's up, brother?
Nothing much. So, how's it going, man? You loved the signing, didn't you?
Oh yeah, good depth.
Big play Slay, how's it going? So it was very. I did not expect this at all. I thought it was just gonna not even happen to our defensive line like right away. I thought it would be like a linebacker, edge, whatever you want to call him, because I've been seeing DL, edge, linebacker, whatever. Wow, I'm still in shock.
No, I'll tell you what, man. My brother is actually a Washington football team fan, and he was very pissed off about that signing.
Yeah, he destroyed Wentz.
Oh, there's the play.
Defensive line is nasty. Like Josh Sweat, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham.
Yeah,
Now you add Kerrigan to the mix.
very good depth, man. Very good depth.
Yeah, very good depth. It's definitely gonna be a problem for O lines going against our defense right now.
Yeah.
That's why they're just trying to focus on making sure they get as much pressure to the quarterbacks as possible, so they can't make those big throws. I think at this point in time.
Yep.
Yeah. We
and
just
not just that too, man, but also having that D line like that also takes pressure off the cornerbacks as well. So
yeah, we just need
help
some
out.
cleanup in the secondary. That's all we need.
The secondary is just, I don't know where they're going with it. Like, you got to make a big move now for the corners, I feel like, because they're going to be started flying. They're going to stop going like flies. They're going to keep on going. Like, Nelson's going to be gone. The guy from the Patriots, I'm forgetting his name right now. I'm drawing a blank.
Stephon Gilmore.
Thank you. He might be gone. Like, you don't. God dang it. Tyler,
Nah,
you're
dude,
in it again?
I'm a firm believer, man. You should trade Ertz and maybe like a second or third round pick for Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
I'd be
Tyler
okay
doesn't
with
want to
that.
talk about that right now.
Yeah,
So.
I'm not talking about that. Not yet.
I would be okay with that. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Just
You're
saying.
a corner in the system.
Man, hey, man, why hold on to somebody who doesn't want to be here? Just like I said about Carson, man, you don't want to be here. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah. Who knows? Another player might come out and just be like, "Oh, I don't even want to be here now." That could be a big blow. You never know with loyalty nowadays.
It is what it is, man.
Yo, Tyler, you're right there?
Yeah, I had to turn my camera off. I'm doing something right now.
Gotcha. So, yeah.
But no, Kerrigan is definitely our Chris Long, man. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Oh, I definitely can see that. My friend messaged me, actually, and he's the one who told me about Robert Kerrigan, and we signed him. He was like, I'd rather have Chris Long, and then he was like, you know what? It's still, I'm not complaining. We needed we needed a vet on our defense side of the ball, which we got, and boom.
Yeah.
And I'm sick and tired of people saying that he's washed and stuff. Like, he's meant to be a depth piece and a rotational piece. He's not supposed to be the best player out there.
Yeah. Like, I even talked about in my video briefly, like, the past 2 seasons have not been great for him. He got injured in 2019. That kept him out for 4 games, and so he couldn't really play the entire season then. Even last year, he got 1 start the entire season, and he still had a decent performance considering that. But, I think he's at the part where he can't be the true starter, and I think that's why Washington had to let him go.
Yeah.
Didn't Washington having someone in their spot, like in
I think they
Kerrigan's
drafted
spot?
the rookie
They
last
had Montez Sweat or Jonathan Allen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew there was like
Yeah.
someone there.
Well,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
think
what
they
I'm saying,
drafted
man. Ryan Kerrigan isn't washed. He just, I
Yeah.
mean, when you have Montez Sweat and Chase Young, I mean, what are you going to do? Of course, you're going to stick Kerrigan. That's kind of like, you know, a given. Doesn't mean he's bad. It's just they're younger and they're better. So he's a good signing.
I wonder if they could like start him over Derek Barnett.
I don't know if I would start him over Derek Barnett. I still feel like Barnett would still be the starter, but at least be some good competition for that, I guess.
Yeah.
Only way that happens is if he struggles.
Yeah. Unless he goes once on us.
I don't think that would happen based off what I saw on his Instagram post, but it's probably too early for me to tell on that.
It's too early to truly tell anything for this upcoming season.
I mean, the guy is productive. It's just that injuries have been like limiting him from playing field.
Have been limiting who?
Derek Barnett.
Yeah. Now, where would Kerrigan go in the rotation? Like, where would he go?
I think he would be after. Barnett in like the depth piece, like the depth chart for defensive ends.
Well, I think you're
on the
gonna
right.
have. I think you'll have Barnett, and then Kerrigan,
Yeah.
or not Barnett. Sorry, I'm sorry, Brandon Graham and Kerrigan, and then you're gonna have Barnett and Sweat on the other side.
Yeah.
Just that's kind of what they did with Chris Long. They swapped Brandon Graham and him out, so I think they're gonna continue to do that with Kerrigan.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there as well. I just feel like that's a most likely spot for him to go while making sure you're still keeping your other key pieces still rotating in a nice order. I think his outside linebacker days are going to be over with us.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you got Barnett and Sweat. They have a good rotation going over there. You don't want to mess that up anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just curious on how Kerrigan's going to use them. Like, Tyler, didn't you say that? Not Kerrigan, Gannon, sorry. Tyler, didn't you say that Kerrigan uses a type of defense? I forget what you said.
Yeah, so because I was doing some research, forget exactly what the topic was, but I'm doing some research into what kind of defense our new defensive coordinator uses. And back in Indianapolis, he was for running a zone blitz defense. So it uses. So he's going to be more aggressive. So kind of be like the Schwartz days with how aggressive we'll be, but instead of relying heavily, like entirely on man coverage, we're going to be relying a lot more on zone coverage. So think about what the Bucks were doing for their Super Bowl game. That kind of defense.
I mean,
isn't it like gap blitzes with free roaming safeties?
Yeah, almost like
Yeah,
that.
I think so.
You think?
I believe it is. I could be wrong, but I know it's in that sort of sense where you're going to be focusing a lot more of the, try and make sure your guys covering these gaps and trying to get past their man while also having some having the zones out there to try and block off areas for the wide receiver in the open field.
Yeah. Hey, Robert, how's it going, bro?
mean, if you look at Harris's good season that he had in Minnesota, that's the role he played, was a free roaming safety that year. So
yeah. So Robert, how's it going, man?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. You
going for a walk.
You going for a walk, bro?
No, I'm out my back. I'm in my backyard.
I'm gonna go outside of my backyard after I'm done with the MK Power Hour. But so you and I briefly talked, Robert, on the phone about Robert Kerrigan. Now,
Yeah, but
what have you changed your mind about anything? Like anything popped up since you and I last spoke?
honestly, I don't have anything. I haven't really. I just stuck with my idea because I basically just covered like the important points that he has under his belt. You know, he's a sack. He has like 95 and a half sacks for his entire career and 100 something games played. I mean, yeah, I really don't have anything. I just pretty much just stuck what I had regarding to Ryan Kerrigan. All I know is and I did mention this in my video too, that he was kind of a pain in the ass towards us every time we play them.
Oh my god, he like destroyed Wentz. I was watching highlights. I'm like, dude. I'm like, that made me cringe a little bit.
Kerrigan still is a great player. You know, even if he's in the rotation, it's just he's not as young as he used to be. He's not as explosive as he used to be. But even still, he still has a lot of mileage left in him.
I mean, last season he recorded 5.5 sacks last season.
That's while only starting one game too, which is the most impressive part of the entire thing.
Wait, say that again?
He started exactly one game last season, and he still got 5.5 sacks recorded for the season.
My God, I thought I heard one.
Was that the record for last year in a singular game?
Oh no! Like he started one game. He didn't get 5 sacks in one game.
Oh.
He would. I can assure you, he'd have a lot more suitors than the Eagles if that were the case.
Right.
Wow. My dad thought he retired and then he came back.
I'm a little surprised he didn't. I thought he would want to retire with Washington since that's been his home for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised that another team didn't jump on him quickly in the free agency deadline.
Well,
He has,
and I think I mentioned this too.
And then the Bengals offered him one too.
Oh,
the Mitch.
Yeah.
It was the Bengals and the Steelers. It was us, the Bengals, and the Steelers that were going after him. But he chose to stay in the NFC East and went with us.
Yeah.
That is actually.
I would have went with the Steelers if I were him, or maybe the Bengals. Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of the Bengals now.
Well,
Hey,
I'm
man,
wondering if it's because he didn't want to really leave Washington, but they were trying to like force him to leave, and so that he wanted to get a little bit of retribution against him.
Yeah. Can you imagine when we go to
That could
Washington?
Oh boy, that's gonna be nuts.
I cut this out of my video, but I was curious to see how the Washington fans would react to seeing Kerrigan in an Eagles uni going against them next season. If they would still cheer for him, or if they're going to boo him.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'd say they still cheer for him because after what he's done for that organization for the last 10 years, so I don't think there should be any.
Yeah, you would think so, but football fans can be very fickle, and they can. I mean, look at Brett Favre. He was playing against Green Bay with the Vikings. He got booed. He got booed relentlessly.
That was I had the same exact reaction
that.
When Connor Barwin in the Giants jersey.
Oh God, no! Don't remind me of Connor Barwin in the Giants jersey.
That was disgusting.
Oh my God! And that's good. And that's just gonna be like what we're gonna do. How we're gonna? I really hope we don't boo. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna probably boo Corey Clement like out the wazoo when the Giants come to town.
I mean,
that's just my idea.
I can see that. I can honestly see that. And Tyler, I'm gonna add on when you said football fans are fickle, because I was talking about this with a friend of mine the other day. When Tom Brady goes to New England, right? Is he going to get booed?
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely. Well, I wouldn't boo him because
absolutely.
First of all, he gave you 6 Super Bowls, so why boo him? But I feel like
they're gonna boo him
because he won a Super Bowl with another team.
You literally left and won a Super Bowl that same year. Like, they're gonna boo him so bad. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like that's the ultimate slap in the face.
Boo Antonio Brown for the rest of their days. But that was a much
I know they're gonna boo him, but I just don't think they should for everything he's done for them.
Like if you think about no player that goes to an opposing team should ever get booed by their old home fans, but unfortunately, that's not the way it works. And football fans, there are some exceptions to the rules, but
It's a little bit of a tougher. It's a tougher mentality.
yeah,
Right. Now, does this
Because that's the
how
thing too
much
with all Philly sports. It's
go Robert? You're good.
I was just thinking because with all Philly sports, like we have a football mentality, so we have expectations. Like if you don't perform, we will give you feedback. That's just how we
Mhm.
are.
Exactly. Now, the fans are going to make a huge difference in the stadiums. I'm just going to throw that out there.
oh yeah, 100%. They're gonna. It's
Yeah, I think
gonna be. So
it
much
is going to
more
be a
fun
huge
watch.
difference.
Yeah.
Now, how much does this signing of Kerrigan help our defense? Like, I know it helps us out on the it helps us out, but how much does it help our defense? Like,
I think
significant jump,
it's
little jump,
substantial for our
substantial.
I think it's
Okay.
going to be substantial for our defense because if you get a guy like Ryan Kerrigan and he's healthy for a good while, that'll help the corners out because then the offensive line would just have to be worrying about the defensive line wrecking havoc, and then that'll help the corners. Just like last year with Washington, like they had a good D line and it helped out the corners. They didn't get beat down the field as much as they should have.
I'm going to tend to agree there as well. When you have someone like Ryan Kerrigan that just has depth, like you're going to be able to put so much pressure onto those opposing linemen, and just either force them to adapt to a shorter ticky tack kind of play, or they're going to get absolutely crushed. And with that, I'm afraid I got to dip out, fellas.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll talk to you. Okay. Now we can talk about Zach Ertz. He was
Yeah,
so
and that's
mad.
but before we go, Mitch, before we go on to the Sacraments, and I mentioned this, and I pretty much said the exact same thing that Slay said, because like if you have someone like Kerrigan, like he can help you develop the younger defensive ends and linebackers that the Eagles have. So he'd be a good a developmental rotation guy.
Yeah. So, Zach Ertz, what's going on? In my video, I was just like, the value is going lower than the floor. So I'm like, just cut him at this point.
See, here's the thing. I feel like they're gonna trade him when it's like I feel like they're gonna trade him during like the training camp or something. I think they're gonna get some value for him, like a fifth or sixth. I feel like they're gonna trade him when like injuries start happening in training camp and he can be like a replacement for someone. And they're trying to like wait for that to happen and then just like throw him into that trade and get some value for him.
All right. Yo, Robert, you good? Okay, internet again. But yeah, it's just like I made a video about this like a week ago about Jordan Hicks. Like that's not a possibility anymore, is it? With the possible getting Jordan Hicks for Ertz.
They tried to do it, but the Cardinals saw his like how much he was getting paid, and they hesitated real fast.
Yeah, it's a real shame. It's just like I know he's a big piece and everything. Everyone's like all emotional from what I've seen on Twitter, but we're so far behind, and we should have just got rid of him like at as high as possible. Like I kind of regret saying like, oh, sign him to an extension. I said that at the beginning of last year. So I'm like, ugh. I'm like each time I hear this, I'm like, dude, I'm such an idiot for that. It's not gonna happen anymore.
Yeah, I feel like Goddard's gonna break out next year.
Yeah, he needs to, because he's on his last year of his deal. So he needs to like go off.
Even if Ertz is here, I think he's gonna break out.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna re-sign Richard Rodgers. Is that a possibility also?
Could be.
Maybe.
Because if we get rid of Zach Ertz, like, who do we have as a backup tight end? So I would rather take a chance to re-sign Richard Rodgers as a backup to Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, it just has to happen at this point. Like, they were doing everything correctly. Some picks were like a miss, but mostly in the right direction after this Robert Kerrigan, and then now Ertz is just like.
I would have just took the best. I would have just took the best deal they had. I really don't even care at this point. I'm just taking the best deal that I get offered, and I'm just gonna get on with it.
That's exactly what I said. I'm like, I'll take them for a bag of chips. I'll take them for a package of water bottles. Like,
I think you should,
sign me up. Sign me back up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Robert, you were saying something?
Yeah, I thought you also mentioned like trade for like a bag of pennies.
Same thing. It's just like anything at this
Sign
point.
me up.
It's kind of like the movie Semi-Pro. Remember how they traded that guy for the washing machine?
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. Well, yeah, I mean, I think this Zach Ertz thing is kind of getting out of control. It's like, because I would, because Mitch, we kind of talked about this too. Not a lot, but briefly. We should have traded him at his highest peak. We could have gotten a lot more in return.
Yeah.
And not just that, but you also have to look at another scenario too. Eventually, you don't want this stuff leaking into your locker room, especially when you have a young team who you're trying to build, a structure around, and you're trying to create a winning mentality. You don't want negativity in there. So the faster you get it done, the easier it'll make it,
Yeah, I know. Each day the clock keeps going.
At this point, we have to think about it. This is how we thought about it with Wentz. Just trade him and get on with it. Do the same stuff with Ertz. The best value, take it.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, he's never said anything bad. It's just we know obviously he doesn't want to be here. So, just do it like he said, what you did with Wentz. Just get rid of him. But he hasn't just said nothing, so it's not like it's a bad breakup.
Yeah.
Do what you can.
Could we just trade it on draft night? There were so many opportunities to trade Ertz on draft night. So many. We could have to the Falcons, for example. We could have given them Ertz for a couple picks, and then they could have got their quarterback later on.
Ertz
they did get Kyle.
They did get.
I would have said Ertz to the Panthers because they need a tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for me. That's the most. Because that was for me. Because him to the Panthers seems like it's the most logical because Carolina's one of their needs is a tight end. Since Olsen and who was the other, and somebody else are no longer with that organization.
No, they don't have Olsen anymore.
That's what I'm saying. They don't have. They haven't had a good.
Yeah.
But yeah. Because I feel it's the most logical the way they.
It's not going to happen. They're just wasting their time.
I think they should trade him to a team like the Packers. Be a depth piece for the Packers, maybe.
Yeah, the Packers are a good one. I mean, with their quarterback controversy now, Aaron Rodgers. So here's a tight end. Don't know who your quarterback is. It's still probably going to be Rodgers, but it's probably here's your tight end. Figure out your quarterback, but we'll take back anything. We'll take back the 6.
Well, and also remember, back in the trade deadline, the Steelers were talk, and also Arizona.
The Ravens.
So, I mean,
yeah.
There's places.
Yeah. Arizona, I mean, dude, that team is stacked.
They are.
That team is stacked. I don't know who else.
Maybe even
take at that point,
Maybe even the Colts. They could go after Wentz.
Well, see, that's what really surprised me. I thought they were going to at least trade Ertz in the 3rd or 4th to Indy for one of their picks because we all know Ertz wanted to be with Wentz, and I figured they'd do it because Frank Wright liked having Ertz too, but it never happened, and that's what blew my mind. I thought that's what was going to happen.
Because that'll be an easy trade package right there. They could trade package deal to Indy for a couple picks.
Yeah, you could have traded them Ertz in a 5th-round pick for like their 3rd, and they could have moved up in their 3rd and got 2 picks in the 3rd. I thought that's what was going to happen, but when they didn't do it, I was like, okay, well, at that point, I was like, he's probably not going to get cut or traded at this point, because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Dallas Goedert does blow up? Can you imagine that we're going to sign him to an extension and all that will happen? And then
I think he will. They gave him the right system. They gave him the right system to dominate. And like Nick Sirianni will utilize Goddard to a high level. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. He's going to utilize hopefully Miles Sanders, right? Because Doug
pretty much just all the running backs that we have, or who's going to be if we're going to carry 3 or 4 running backs.
I mean, just like any position right now, Nick Sirianni could fix. It's a possibility. Like, I would not be mad if there was one position that he could not fix, but the rest are like fixed. Like, okay, you fixed 95%. And the other 5 were like, okay, we'll deal with that later. But it's just sucks. Dude,
I'll be honest. I think the way this team is heading into the season, with all the doubt and criticism that they're getting, I think they could surprise a lot of people, just like they did in 2017.
That's what I'm thinking too. Not to mention that I know just Devontae Smith in the Eagles uniform, which even now, still looking back at it, it's still funny to see how salty Giants fans are.
Yeah.
I mean, the Giants fans, dude, it's just like so funny. I'm going to have a Giants fan on here tomorrow. Like, we're just going to talk about football and stuff, probably roast each other a little bit. But,
really?
Yeah, it's going to be, I can't wait. Like, it's just, the Giants fans, dude, I hate just delusional fans. Like, hopefully this guy I'm going to have on tomorrow is not delusional at all and understands the game of football. Like, if he says the Giants are going to come out and win Super Bowl tomorrow, I'm going to be like, dude, no. Like,
or like the delusional Eagles fan that you made a video on.
Yeah, he commented on that. He commented on that.
That was
no,
hard
that
to watch.
That dude is dumb. Like, how can you be mad at picking Devontae Smith? We haven't had a receiver in like 15 years.
Exactly, and not to mention the fact and his name's been and Devontae Smith's name's been thrown around with the Eagles before the draft even happened.
Yeah, like I'm looking at that.
Projected to be a top 3 pick.
What?
He was projected to be a top 3 pick before like all that hype and stuff.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at this kid's YouTube right now, and just like I don't know who Shohei Ohtani is, but that video. He's a pitcher, apparently.
He's a 2-way player for the Angels.
Okay, he said it's overrated.
Have you ever seen the history books with Shohei Ohtani? Because this dude's been up, has his name put up near with Babe Ruth in like almost every single category in the game of baseball.
Yeah, like he's mad that we got Kerryon Johnson. Like he's reacting to the like he's a Flight Reacts. If you guys know who that is, he's a wannabe Flight.
That or he's already called Lamar Jackson overrated.
Yeah. Well, I kind of
Lamar Jackson. The doubt that they give criticism that they give Lamar Jackson is blasphemous.
Yeah, I mean, they were one of the worst throwing teams last year, weren't they? The Ravens, weren't they like dead last or second to last?
I would think.
Yes,
so.
But he's also a very accurate passer. People don't understand that.
I mean,
I got to mention the league's now switching to mobile quarterbacks, so sometimes that passing game is probably going to be going to, like, no pun intended, been thrown out the window.
Yeah. They're still Super Bowl contention, the Ravens. They still are.
Yeah.
That's
The
what I
only
said.
thing Lamar needs to work on is his like deep ball pass. Other than that, he's a good quarterback. He's actually a really good quarterback.
Yeah, he's a good
I don't know,
quarterback.
man.
His
Baltimore's strength has always been their defense.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
Without a
that's been
doubt.
always been
Yeah.
their biggest plus.
Yeah,
Because
you know,
I still
you look
remember
at
the
every
days
Super Bowl win that they have, it's because of their defense. So
because you guys hit
Yeah.
the guys
Remember their
Ray,
first Super Bowl win?
What
Remember
was
their
that?
first Super Bowl win?
Yeah.
I was saying, remember their first Super Bowl win
Mhm.
where they absolutely
Yeah.
crushed the Giants?
Yep. And Ray Lewis, I love that whole journey.
dude, he's nothing but Ray Lewis is nothing but a human battering ram. Like no offensive line is safe with him.
yeah,
Yeah, one of my favorite players of all time.
Exactly.
He carved the intermediate like part of the field.
Oh yeah.
no one brought the energy like Ray Lewis, man.
No, exactly. Because I feel like Ray Lewis was pretty much with the heart and soul of that squad.
Dude, he was the 12 men.
Exactly.
No
Like he's
lie.
12 men built into one.
Exactly.
That's like man, man, good luck stopping him.
Man, if you would have put Ray Lewis's energy in all 12 of those dudes, that team would have been holy shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see the movie Invincible? You probably did, right?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen like 10 or 15 times.
Yeah.
It's like one of the better. Other than The Blind Side, those are that's part of my top 2 football movies.
Still, I
Makes
can
you
name
top 3 because Remember the Titans is in my top 3.
I can name a lot of football movies, but the point I was trying to make at is, the Vince Papale. I'm gonna try to get his son on my podcast. I'm actually good friends with the kid. He's playing football in spring football league. I forget where.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully that'll
That's
work
what's
out.
up, man.
Yeah, see, I'm more, with my age, my favorite football movie is definitely either Any Given Sunday or The Replacements.
Did you guys
Yeah.
remember Little Giants?
Oh my God, no,
No.
that was my all-time favorite kid movie, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Oh
Unfortunately.
my god.
Mine would have to be Waterboy.
You're missing out,
Waterboy is
dude.
one of my
Waterboy is
Go
fun.
rent it, go buy it on DVD and watch it. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waterboy is amazing.
Yeah. My friend called that movie overrated.
It's funny though, like
That is absolutely blasphemous.
You're telling me.
like
Telling me.
because for me, I love watching baseball because obviously if people know me on the more personal level, baseball is my number one thing to cover.
Yeah.
And Mitch, you've seen the amount of I don't know if I have to show you some screenshots of how well my Phillies videos are doing at this point.
Yeah, for you, they're doing really good. Yeah, I've been watching.
The only
it,
team I'll probably never cover again is probably the Flyers because they.
I still
that's
have
the
the
one-
hockey backdrop.
I
As
for
soon
some
as I
reason,
got it, they just sucked. As soon as I
Exactly.
got it.
like the Sixers are doing. My Sixers videos are doing okay on the channel.
Well, this is what my friend told me. Sixers and basketball related, it's the number one internet sport. Football is a close second. Or it could be a tie. I call it a tie between those
Really?
two. I call it a tie.
That's
yeah.
actually surprising because I feel like basketball, the ratings have gone down lately. Not many people like it as much as they used to.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But,
Especially with the NFL draft and stuff.
That's right. Yeah, because Mitch did a reaction. I did a YouTube short when we traded up to the 10th spot in the draft during our live. Was it your live stream, Mitch?
mine.
Yeah, it was your because I got just gotten home in time to join Mitch. Was it me? It was me, Mitch, Tyler, and Lindy.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
Lindy's a
He's gonna be on on our podcast Sunday, right?
yes.
Okay.
And I'm definitely doing a call in as well. I added that segment in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like
I
God,
just
think
want to
that,
go back to the wide receivers real quick of the Eagles, and just I'm still thinking about the 1 and 2, or just like the whole roster as a whole, like who will be the 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just telling you right now, Whiteside is not on those.
Yeah, we'll
I'm just
cut
saying,
Whiteside.
I might make a video on that. Just like I might.
Nah, man, nah. We cannot cut Whiteside. Keep Whiteside. I'm a Whiteside stan.
Oh,
As
you
much
are?
as bad as he is, I'm a Whiteside stan. Yeah.
That's how I am with Korkmaz. That's how I am with Korkmaz, bro.
No,
I think.
No. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You can't say that because you know what? We let Mac Hollins walk. You have to let JJ walk. I'm sorry.
Because I think
if you let Mac walk,
time,
you have to let JJ walk.
Because
I think Mac Hollins has done pretty well with the Dolphins.
That's kind of my point. Mac Hollins did better for us than what JJ has done, and if you let him walk, you have to let JJ walk.
Yeah, because I think it was because JJ
I'm gonna look at his.
It's just like it's time to. Because I'm with AK. I think it's time to move on from him because we got so many other wide receivers. Because obviously, we all know that Devontae Smith's going to be our number 1 receiver. That's a given.
Yeah.
If he can play up to the height. Which I think he will, especially since he has familiarity with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I'm looking at Whiteside's stats right now, and it's just like, hold on, 8 games, 4 receptions, 85 yards.
Mac Hollins
get that he's like yardage and like his like stats are just garbage, but like. What system was he in and what scheme was he in? Doug Peterson didn't utilize him at all. He used him in some moments, but like he didn't use him to his strengths, which was just going up and getting that jump ball. Nick Sirianni would use that when he starts him in the offense.
I mean, you can say that with any player.
Let me put it to you plain and simple. If you're great, it don't matter what scheme you're in.
Yeah. I mean, it can be. You can say that for any player. Hell, you can even say that about Jalen Hurts. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Who, me?
No. I was just saying what he said. He was like saying like how Sirianni can like fix Whiteside and fit into our team, and I'm like, you can say that with any player. You can say that with anybody.
Yeah, but I mean, he was saying about scheme, though. It's like, yeah, but that's not always true because if you're a great player, scheme doesn't matter. You know, you can take Julio Jones off the Falcons, throw him on any team, and I believe Julio is still going to be Julio. Same with Devontae Adams, same with Odell Beckham, they're all going to produce. It does not matter the scheme. It does not matter the coach. They're great. They're going to produce. So in that way, JJ, if you can't produce in Doug's system, which was kind of plain and simple, you're not producing in Nick Sirianni's.
See, here's the thing. I feel like they're gonna have to like let him play it out this year because he is a second round value, and you still have like you drafted a good value in him, and like you still want to see what you have in him because if you cut him next year and he does good with another team. You did that to yourself. Like, look at Mac Hollins. Look at other receivers.
First off, I didn't do shit. Howie Roseman did that shit. I didn't fucking do anything.
Yeah.
Howie Roseman reached on that guy. I didn't. I had nothing to do with that shit. That's all on him.
Wait, what guy?
He was projected to be a 4th or 5th rounder, not a 2nd. That's all on Howie for reaching that far. His value is only that high because Howie made him that high. It's not because that's what he was projected to be.
Yeah. I just can't. I can't wait for Dickerson to play. Like, I've seen his college tape. The guy's good.
if
No,
he can stay
Dickerson's a
healthy.
beast.
He would have been a
Yeah.
top. He would have been a top 20 pick if he were to be healthy.
Exactly, and
Yeah,
that's
no.
why I think that's what the major concern was in the draft. Like it's the same with JOK and how far he fell in the draft. Because
With
for me,
who?
because
Yeah.
JOK,
JLK, he had heart issues. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
no, I believe Dickerson is worth the risk. I mean, you
Yo,
know,
Philly,
if he can,
Philly Jim, I'll put in the Come on in, bro. Come on in.
yeah,
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I believe he's worth the risk. You know, I mean, yeah, he might get injured, but as good as he is, I see why he did it. I'm not too mad about it.
you know, got to mention the fact he's
Yeah.
also versatile. Not to mention because I know we definitely needed one of our needs was a center. We all knew that. We all know that because Kelsey's not going to be around for, let's say, for the next 5 to 10 years, give or take.
Yeah.
I think he's
Yeah.
gone next year. After next year, I think he's lacing those boots up.
Yeah,
Like
I was
the
reading an
boots.
article about Jason Kelsey and how he did his interview and how excited he is to get back on that field and everything, and how Landon Dickerson, the signing, is going to make him even better. So I just can't wait for Kelsey to play.
Exactly.
Hey, at
Well,
least
I
at least it
honestly
was.
believe you're going to see Dickerson a lot sooner than you think. I believe Dickerson's going to take over for Sam Malu at left guard. That's
Because I
just me.
think, you know, and I can see that's the thing too. And Mitch, I think we kind of talked about this too. I don't think we ever talked about it because
What?
because it's like how are we gonna? Because I feel like we. I mean, this is going back to Jordan Mailata and this is when we talked about our top 3 Pro Bowl. Who's going to be a Pro Bowler?
Yeah.
Because you kind of were interested in it because in my response, what I had Lane Johnson, Mailata, and Jalen Rager.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if you can unlock Rager's potential, I think he can be a Pro Bowler. Can have a couple 1,000-yard seasons. It's just like people just, I don't know. It's just like people just don't want him to see. They just want him to see him fail.
Yeah.
That's just the way I see it.
I
Wait,
don't. I think
Wait, are you
I
talking
can
about
agree.
Dylan?
Jalen Rager.
Yo,
Oh,
what is
Rager?
up, Jim? What is up, man?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Philly Jim?
What's up, Jim?
Yo, it was a pleasure to meet you on Date's podcast, and then your internet just went out.
My
I guess?
internet gave out as soon as we were going live. Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
I mean, how bad that?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just the worst. It was just the worst timing, But happens sometimes. But I heard you guys talking about Landon.
Mhm.
I played football in high school with Landon.
Oh.
I did. So
For
I was
real?
very
Wow.
I was very happy to see him get drafted. I mean, I knew he would make it to the NFL because when he was in high school, he was just throwing people around. He was a man out there when he was 15, 16 years old. But you know what? He works hard. He's a leader. He's going to be really liked in the locker room. Coaches, everybody likes being around him. So it's going to be good to see him out there. And he was already at minicamp. People were wondering about his knee injury. That is a little bit of a concern, but I think he's going to be okay. And Jeff Stoutland's going to get him right.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys think if he's fully healthy, could he overtake Kelsey's spot? Is that a
No, not
possibility?
Yes.
Kelsey,
No.
but
No.
not Kelsey, but I
If
can see
it's-
him. This is what I see happening.
All right.
If he does really well in camp, he could start over Sayamalu.
Yeah.
Okay.
He could.
Yep.
He
That's
could
what
at left guard, and then after this season, if Kelsey retires, then he'll go to center. That's what I see happening.
Yeah.
Mitch, I believe
I fully
believe
agree.
your line's going to be Mailata, Dickerson, Kelsey, Brooks, Johnson.
That's
That's
what I
going to be
see
your
too.
5 going in week
Yeah,
1.
I could see that as well.
And
the
you
good
might
thing
even
about it
see
is-
Dillard. You might even see Dillard get traded to like maybe Denver or Houston, because Houston wanted him originally and they need some line help. So
Maybe even Seattle. Seattle may be looking for him. He
even
needs
that.
the offensive protection.
But I don't see Dillard beating out Mailata for this. I'm sorry. I don't.
Absolutely not.
There's no way in hell. It's
and-
not the mention
and
pay. You have
Mailata-
Mailata's. You actually also got to take into effect that Mailata has a rugby background, so he knows how that works. And so even though it's a different form of football.
And then bounce off of that, bro. He's never played football before rugby. And he's already out here beating Dillard, who's been playing it forever. So, I mean, that's got to worry you a little bit, don't it?
I think it would, especially where do we take
So-
Dillard? It's like I know we had Dillard in the first
We're
round.
looking first on the 21st, I think.
Yeah, now we actually traded up to get him again. We had to jump up.
We
We had to
did.
jump the Texans and get Dillard.
My bad.
And you
Yeah.
know what?
I-
You know what though? Mailata is a big man. He's 6'7", 6'8", 350 pounds. So I think that he just needed. I think he just needed to learn how to play left tackle or right tackle or whatever he's going to play. But he's a big, strong guy. Of course, he has what it takes to play on the O-line.
Yes, that and be successful in this league.
I mean, yeah, he was looking really good last season.
Yeah, I mean he
in my
was.
opinion. So you know what? I think that's a really big deal because he was a 7th round pick. So, at some point you would have to think about drafting another left tackle if it didn't pan out with Dillard, but you don't have to do that now because you have Mailata. So you have 3 first-round picks next year. If Wentz plays all the snaps for Indy, you get that 3rd first. You don't got to really take a left tackle in the 1st round. You could address other needs on the team as needed.
Yeah.
I mean, with the
And I mean, you got Dillard in the 1st round with the 21st overall pick, I think, or something like that. So, I mean, you could at least probably get a 2nd round pick for him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try for a
I
first,
think-
but I'd try for a second
I think
or
we
third.
have the depth. Yeah, I think we have
Yeah,
the depth and like rookies from last year. I think they can be our future. Like you got guys like Driscoll, you got Dickerson now, and you also have Jordan Mailata. That could be potentially your future, and you still have say Malo.
yeah. It's just insane how deep our line is, just the depth in general, and just like all of our positions, except for like quarterback, are so deep and have like so much competition now, which I like. I like that a lot. Love the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you played football with him in high school. Was he exactly like dominant as it could be? Like you could put him in like
Definitely.
each spot of the
He
line?
had like in high school, he had like all these schools looking at him. Like he actually went to Florida State before he went to Alabama, but I think he should have went to Alabama all 4 years because he could have because Alabama wanted him. Alabama was really recruiting him. So you saw a big difference in how he was playing with Florida State. It was right before Jimbo Fisher went to Texas A&M, but he was there, and he had some injuries there, and he was not the same when he went to Alabama these past couple years. He was a completely different guy, So I feel like they coached him up and they developed him more because he had the potential before, but they helped him like reach another level. But in high school, yeah, he was. I can tell you this one story. We were playing a team, and Landon played. He played O-line. He played D-line. He played on special teams. They had him on the kickoff team. You talk about Jordan Mailata, how he used to be a rugby star, and a lot of people have talked about like, if it's 4th and short, we should like give him the ball. There was a play on like 4th and 1 in the playoffs. We gave Landon a carry, and he got a first down. So, we did everything with the big man, but he got ejected from a game.
Oh boy!
On kickoff team because he was going to tackle the ball carrier, and he pretty much suplexed the guy like WWE style. Like
Oh yeah, it's
he body slammed him, got thrown out of the game.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you're 6'5" and 6'6" and you have like 5-year-olds playing out there. Just you're a grown man out there just throwing kids around.
It was pretty funny.
That's just
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So it kind of
That was pretty
reminds you. So he was kind of like the blindside Michael Orr.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it was like. He was like our Michael Orr, like just big guy out there.
Did he shove everyone to the buses? Like, did he? That would have been funny.
Excessive blocking.
No, you know, that's something I want to see Nick Sirianni do with my Lotto, honestly. I would love to see him line up at fullback on the 5-yard line. Just give it to him, man, and let him take it right in. I would love to see him use him like that.
All right.
That reminds me.
Yeah.
So the running back room is getting pretty crowded. So who do you guys think is going to make the team? Who do you think is going to get cut?
All
I
right,
said the guy get cut is Holyfield.
Sanders is obviously a lock.
Yeah,
Sanders is a lock. Gainwell's a lock.
I think Kerryon Johnson could be a lock if healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Johnson.
The-
I think Johnson, when healthy, is up a guaranteed lock.
Oh,
Yeah, I
healthy.
think you're gonna
That's the
get.
problem.
I think you're gonna get Sanders, Johnson, Gainwell, and Howard. That's gonna be your lineup.
Yeah.
You think
What about
Scott would be
Boston
the-
Scott?
I
Mitch,
don't.
Scott, I think
I don't see
he'll
him
cut.
making it.
Yeah.
Mitch, we were talking about
The
this
only
earlier.
way he
Like,
This
makes it,
team
the
is-
only way he makes the team is for special teams. Like if they use him as like a kick or punt
Yeah.
returner, but that is only
That's
the
pretty
only
much
way
about
he
it.
makes this team.
So you got Sanders, Kerryon, Jordan Howard,
Gainwell.
and Gainwell.
No, Gainwell
Yeah.
before Howard.
They also have Adrian Killens. Yeah, they also have Killens too.
Yeah, but
Imagine if we
you know
still
the guy's
had
like
him.
160
I think
pounds.
I think he's gonna be on practice squad if anything. They'll save him for if they need him.
Probably.
Now,
because the guy
All
that
right then.
Hey, Mitch, we were talking about this earlier. Like, who would you cut in the running back room?
Yeah.
We said Boston Scott, and another
We
guy
said
I would like to see is probably going to get cut is Elijah Holyfield because he's been on the team for a while and he's never used him.
right,
It's
right.
kind of a waste of a roster spot.
Now, real quick, I see this on Twitter right now. If the Eagles sign Steven Nelson, they are winning the NFC East. I
It's possible.
It's
possible.
yeah, it's
It is
possible, but
definitely possible.
The division is not. The problem I have with people like asking who's going to win the NFC East,
it's anybody.
it's not really that I think that the teams are all going to suck like last season. It's just that when you look at the Cowboys or the Giants or Washington, what have they really done that has really separated themselves from the rest of the teams?
Exactly.
Not much. So the Eagles have a favorable schedule, and the teams have not separated themselves that much. So if they do
There's
win
no
that
guarantee.
little,
There's no
if they do win that little stretch of 4 straight division games, I don't see why they couldn't win the division. But it's gonna depend on Ertz and how he does. We don't know how good or bad he's gonna do his first year as a starter, but if he does well enough and the team stays healthy, they'll be in it.
I got us at 10 and 6.
Yeah.
Well, there's 17 games.
I have
now,
us
so
at 8 and 9.
Well,
Yeah, I have them
11 and 6,
going
sorry.
8 and 9.
I had
I
them
think-
going.
I
them
always
going-
went 7 and 10.
I
that was
had
my
10
thing.
and 7. I had 10 and 7, but I'm definitely going back. I'm definitely going back. There's no
I had
way.
us at like 8 and 9, but I
8
could
and
see
9.
9 and 8 maybe.
Yeah,
I could see 7, 8
I
wins.
see us going 8 and 9. Yeah.
I know I'm going to
mine was
get a
set-
lot of
I
grief
think
for
I think
saying
our
11 and 10.
ceiling. I think our ceiling is about 10, 11 games, but like our floor would be 7, 6
say about-
games, something like that.
Because I said 7 and 10. That's how they're going to finish. Because I feel like there's a lot. We have a lot, at least a lot more needs to address. Corners one. I mean, corners one of them because outside Darius Slaley, you don't have really anybody else. Because Mitch, we talked about this before. We don't know if Zach McPherson is going to be ready.
Right.
Who knows? Who knows?
That's the issue I have with the cornerback position. Like, even though we told McPherson that in the 4th round, we need to at least go after one in free agency.
Yeah, that's why I said
Other
Steven
than,
Nelson.
other
do
than
agree with
Darius
you.
Slay, there's not a singular corner that's over 6 feet on this
I know.
roster.
I
Maybe
know.
No, I do agree with you on the corner. But even if we don't address it, and I know Gannon's smart, you can honestly do press coverage most of the time with the corners and give that line an extra second or two. And, dude, that makes a huge difference, Instead of playing 5 to 7 yards back like we were with Mike, if that'll really help.
But what about the pass rush? The pass rush is going to be pretty good, I think, with Kerrigan coming in. He's still
Exactly.
productive and he can still get pressure.
Yeah.
And Josh
Yep.
Sweat was really productive off the bench last year. Graham had one of his better seasons. If Cox stays healthy and Hargrave, they can push the middle of the pocket. That'll help the secondary.
Oh, definitely.
And that's exactly what I mean by press coverage, man. If you press coverage, that just gives that line an extra second or two to do what they do best. And you can stop a lot doing that. You really can.
All right. I'm going to call it here, guys, because MK Power Hour usually ends at 6. So thank you, everyone, to be on. Jim, I'll see you Saturday night. I'll see you Saturday night, bro.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. And tomorrow, I'm going to have a Giants fan on here. We're just going to talk and just have fun. I can't wait for that, bro.
Oh, this ought to be good.
I can't
All right,
wait.
Mitch. Well, thanks for having me on, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right, gentlemen.
All right. I'll catch you.
I'll see you Sunday. See you Sunday, Mitch, at 4:00.